Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome to yet another Comic Art Live collector chat we're going to have here. I've got a collector who's been in our chat day in and day out for the last year, and you'll know him as Mr. Red Jack. I think 24, right, is the handle, but Brian is his first name, and I'm not going to leave him in the green room because I know he's got family who are watching tonight. He's brought an entourage of his own. So here, let me bring Brian on, and we'll get this thing rolling. Hey, Brian, how are you?
Hi, Bill. How you doing tonight?
Oh, it's Red Jack 12. See, I said 24.
I that's all right. It's a long line. I'm sure there's going to be a Red Jack 13 eventually one day.
That's true. That's true. See, and Mr. Easy Go Lucky corrected me and said 12 as well. But hey, just before we get started, too, I wanted everybody to know that Brian's calf gallery is linked in the description. I tend to forget to mention that when we start these conversations, but if you want to kind of follow along, check out his calf gallery while we're talking or after the show, just definitely check out it. Leave some comments, a few thumbs up on his calf gallery while you're there too. So don't forget to do that. So
we're working on that right now. I just bought a new scanner because I have a lot of old pictures, so I'm just slow. Majority of them are going to change it over from the new scanner to from the old photo. So just give me like one more week or so to get everything ready.
Hey, well, we always appreciate it when people update their scans that have been on a long time and maybe they were smaller before or whatnot. It's a good thing. I mean, everybody appreciates a good scan. We talk about that all the time on the CAF updates when we lament having to pick a piece of art that we love, but we don't have a big image for it. So big scans are better.
Yeah, I got one of these beautiful overhead book reader ones. They are just so much easier to do.
Mm-hmm.
To edit and all. It's great. A little pricey, but for a good scan, it's worth it.
No, without question. I mean, it beats phone pictures and the old Mustech scanners that many of us used when we were getting started in the hobby.
Yeah.
Never really produced the best scans. So nope, I'm with you there.
And just before we get started, Bill, just to do my public service announcement, as I usually do. I didn't have time to type it today. Good evening, everyone. I hope everybody is in good health and spirits this day. Please leave a comment below, like, share to your social media, subscribe to this channel for all future updates. We want everybody to be involved in this. That means you in the corner over there. We have a great group of people in the chat room every day. You get a good mixture from like Ruben, Jason, Jeff, Dino, just to name a few. They're all good people. If it's the first time, don't be shy. Just say your name and just say you're new here, and they'll welcome like family. That's the great thing about this chat. Everybody's family here. So just don't ever be shy.
Yeah, no, a lot of times you can imagine we'll have a show where we've got like last night where I think we had over 100 people watching it, and that was really only about half of the people are commenting. But the one nice thing that we checked, we spoke in the green room after that show for a little while, that 6 new people commented on during the show that had never commented on any of the shows in the last year. So that's good. It shows you it was, that kind of format for a show was really good. And it's always good, nice for me to see that we've got new people participating in the chat. So
that's the whole thing about this. We want people to participate. That's the bottom line. That's the only way this network's going to grow, this community. It's not even a community. It's more of an extended family because everybody just watches each other out. They help each other. There's no bad attitudes towards anybody that I've seen since I first joined. That's the best thing about this group. Like I said, it's just an extended family. That's what makes us different from other chats. And believe me, I've been on some chats over the years, and the cutthroats, and you just get fed up. You just get rid of them.
No, we try to keep it light and fun here.
Yeah, so, it's a great group of people. I mean, you can ask for a better group of people.
Well, again, and we all appreciate you because you usually warm everybody up. You're in here before the show starts, letting everybody know that.
Let me figure, because I know, Nick Barrucci, he's the man. I mean, he really does beautiful work for us. He just keeps pushing and pushing and promoting, even on his own show Friday night, 7:00. He just keeps pushing this group, and that's what we just try to help him out because he can't be here every day. He's got his own stuff to do, which But
yeah. He runs 3 shows.
Yeah,
he has his Friday one, but I know he participates in 2 other shows as well that I haven't seen them, but I know he does them because I get his.
He does yeoman's work, and like I said, we just try to give him a break until when he wants to show up. Even he has to get a day off.
No, he deserves it. The thing is, he literally he'll email me at 3 or 4 in the morning. So I don't know when he sleeps because he's a producer on The Boys. He's running
Yeah, I know.
Dynamite. I don't know how he does it. I mean, I think I have a bad schedule, but I know his schedule is far worse than mine.
It's all those veggie sandwiches he eats.
That's right. That's right. Hey, Chris, Redbucks, thank you very much. We appreciate that.
And I believe we have a new member tonight. Gareth joined us tonight.
Where was that?
A new member joined us tonight.
Oh, that was in the right. They actually joined yesterday. Jim McGrath.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see that.
Well, you know what? When I create these shows,
Jim Gareth. I'm sorry.
It kind of keeps the I don't know. It tags certain events in every chat for any show that I've created. So Jim McGrath, I didn't mention him yesterday, but yes, Jim McGrath joined the channel.
Well, welcome, Jim.
Yesterday afternoon. Right. We always appreciate that. So Brian, now we know, like I mentioned at the start of the show, you've got family who are watching, and you had mentioned wanting to talk a little bit about comic art. So your family knows what we're talking about tonight, and you brought a couple examples. So I thought that was a good idea, because it's not something, whenever we start any shows on the channel, we just assume everybody knows what comic art is.
It's the problem.
We have no definition out there that explains anything to them. But you've got family who are watching right now who don't know anything about this hobby of yours.
And friends too. Yeah, it's like I said, it's just, even the first time person who may come by, just, by accident or whatever, and they see comic art and they don't understand what comic art is, I just give it like 5 minutes, just to show them what we do. So the first thing is, most people have read a comic book in their life at one time or another. So this is a comic book. This is what we read. Now, the parts of a comic book are broken down. We have, just give me a minute. The thing fell over here.
I'm going to give Brian the full screen here.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a nice Susie and the Banshees poster in the back, by the way.
Oh, yeah. That's, I bought that in believe me, in the 90s, I was collecting everything. We start off usually with the cover. The cover is what sells the comic book. You try to do something that grabs the attention and gets the people to read the comic book itself. So the cover is very important. That's cover art, in case you're wondering.
Ruben's giving you a hard time. He's like, couldn't you teach those people to... No, you're getting the basics tonight, too.
Are you kidding? Yeah, no, they indulge me, but it's grown. Now you get a person, the writer, who usually lays out what the book's going to have in it. The story, the characters, who's coming in, who's coming out, who dies, or whatever. And they give that to the penciler. So the penciler will pencil pages. Now that's his job, penciling pages. Give an idea what the layout of the story is, hopefully. And the penciler also gives that to the inker when he's done. I'm a little, it's a shovel.
Well, Jimmy understands that,
the inker,
not all family members understand the hobbies.
Yeah, the inker will ink the page out over the pencils of the penciler. So that's his job. Also, you got the letterer, whose job is to fill out the word bubbles in the little panels or the splash. And you got the colorist. These are color guides for a book. It's pretty much, they take the original art, shrink it down. The colorist colors it in. They put it all together, bring it to the editor, put it all together, word balloons, and that's the whole book itself.
I own a few of those myself.
Yes. Also, there's other terms, like we have like a full page splash we haven't mentioned in this show. Full page splash is like something like this. Full page. Oh, sorry.
Very nice.
But it's full page. We also have double page splash. That's a double page splash. It's two pages put together, taped together. Instead of having from page to page, it's just like 2 pages connected.
Brian, you're getting to show more art than anybody that I've had on an interview. I think that was your ploy.
Panel pages in a book, half page splash. self-explanatory. It's half page, captures
Mhm.
your interest. Commission works. Now, if a big part of being a comic art collector is if you have a favorite artist or a favorite character, and you say, okay, I would love to get that artist to draw my favorite character. Now, you can reach them through a website, or if they're at a local comic convention, big one or whatever, you stand in like everybody else and you ask them, can you draw this character? And they say yes or no. Don't be offended if they say no. They have a right to refuse, but most times they will do it. And you set a set price, and hopefully you could get that within the bounds of the convention. If not, they'll work out, they'll send it to you when you're done. They also have schedules of their books, so they do this on their free time. So it's not like they could do it right away all the time. But this is like a commission piece, overall.
Very nice.
And that's pretty much basically it.
That's
just
comic art collecting 101.
Yeah, for terminology. Like I said,
Yeah.
casual person might not understand what we're doing. No, because they think we're all crazy anyway, the comic book fans and all that. But that's pretty much it. And as usual, well, first let's start off with toast, because you're come to my house, so good Irish manners, we have to do a toast. So toast to everybody. Well, that's good too. Your friends old and new, may the following words find you true. In this life, may you have good health, many years of happiness, and the love of friends and family. And may all three of these find you all the way to the end of your life. Thank you.
That's the way to start a show.
Well, it's manners. We're Irish, so we have to have the manners, because if we don't, we get jumped out of our core. It's in our,
in your DNA.
Yeah, in the DNA. But that's pretty much it.
No, well, it was a good start. Now, and I think Ruben's right though. Next time you have some friends and family over, you should crack out the art and show them.
Well, it's tough. Like I said, I work overnight, so it's really tough.
Oh, that's I forgot.
Yeah, it's tough managing things, and when you get together, you don't want to just stand there and talk about original artwork, with your family, even though they tolerate you. But yeah.
Well, Ruben's clamoring for your origin story, but I know you wanted to mention something before we got started.
Oh, yes. Later on in the show, I'm gonna have a special announcement just before we do the little art section of our show. So you may find it very interesting, a couple of views in particular, but I'd stick around and it'll be worth your while. So we'll do that a little bit later. We're gonna have to make you suffer a little first.
All right. Well, you know how we start these things off. We like to get the origin story. So clearly you're a collector of many things.
Yes.
And, how did that start, and how did that lead to your passion for collecting original comic book art?
Well, when I first started, this is going back over 50 years now. It was more of a survival aspect, because back then we really haven't nothing called internet or anything. It was, you had a TV with like 5 channels. That was about it. Either that or you go outside and play all day. So we were stuck as pretty much as that was the choices. And God bless my aunts. I have 2 aunts, my Aunt Sheila and my Aunt Rosemary and my mother. And they never met a sale that they didn't like. Mm-hmm. So when I was like 6 and 7, I pretty much had no choice in the matter. I had to go shopping all day long. That was the thing. But you had to play it right just a little bit much. You had to protest just a little, so you could get a little something out of it because you were going to lose anyway. So that was the way they, just pretty much shut me up. Come with us, we'll get you a couple comic books. And so that's what I did. That's how I started. And it just built up. Back then, comic books were very cheap, 30, 35 cents. You get a whole stack and you'd be happy for the day. Mm-hmm. Sit on the porch, read them. And it was good times. I try to explain to people the feeling of reading a comic book the first time, and it's just, I don't know, you have to feel it yourself. It's either you're gonna like it or you're gonna hate it. It's like the opera, either you're gonna love it or you're gonna hate it. There's no in between. So that was the way that started, and that progressed for a couple of years. I I really was off and on in the beginning, but I was a big Flash fan. I loved the Flash, and I love Hawkman. Those were my two favorite characters. So, and that went on until about, on and off. Back in those days, like I said, today comic books and superheroes are more accepted as an art form and all that. Back then, it wasn't so much that. So you didn't want to be known as the comic book guy, in the schools. You had the jocks, and then you had the nerds, and you didn't want to be known as the comic book guy, because that's like saying put a kick me sign on you. So, but it was good times. Like I said, you had your group of friends, you hung out, and you go to over their house and you read comics and swap them and tell stories and all that. But I really didn't start as far as artwork until about, let's say, 1986. I'm pretty much situated right next to New York City where I live. So it was very easy to get over to the New York, to the comic conventions, the Big Apple Con over at Pennsylvania Hotel. And about 1986 is when I actually bought my first piece of artwork. I was going over, it was a Saturday, and my friends were supposed to go with me, but they backed out at the time. So I was sitting at the table at breakfast, and my father was there. And he said, "Brian, what are you doing today?" And I said, "Well, I'm going to go over to the convention." He said, "Aren't your friends going with you?" I said, "No, they backed out today." And God love my father. He worked 6 days a week, and valuable time off was valuable time off for him. But he always made time for us. On a Sunday, bring us out to the park to see my grandparents or whatever. And out of the blue, he said, "Brian, can I go with you?" And that shocked the hell out of me, honestly, because I never expected that. And I know he was tired, and I didn't want to bother him. I said, "Sure, come on, let's go." So we jumped on the bus, went over the path, 10 minutes, 15 minutes later, over at the convention. And this is the best part about going to conventions, is the connection with a friend, a family member, whatever. I remember the look on his face when we got on the escalator going up and we got off, and he saw the row of comic books, set up and all that. And his face lit up like a kid, a 12-year-old kid. And I'll never forget that look. And it was like we were with two kids talking on the street corner. And going, "Brian, I remember that book. I remember that book." And he was telling me stories about this and that. And like I said, he just lit up. And it was one of the best days of my life ever. I'll never forget that day. He was a 12-year-old kid that day. But that's the connection I love. And anybody out there, if you may not be able to go to conventions and all that, but if you have a chance, even if it's like a little convention in your town, like an Elks Club or whatever, you just go look, take a look around. It's nice. Back in the day, we really we were limited because I really didn't have a comic book store around this area. It was all malls. And like I said, if you live in New Jersey, you will know what the areas were. Like we had Garden State Plaza with the big mall, and they had a bookstore there, and you had the spinner rack of comics. So every time you went there, that's where you'd get your books.
Right.
Otherwise, I'd have to go over to New York and get them. And then you do mail service. I did mail service for a couple of years, but again, that's a hit and miss because I was ordering a lot of books, but you only get them once a month. So by the time you got them, you were way behind everybody else. It was a tough situation, but thank God, like in 1993, it was like the gates of heaven opened. A comic book store opened up right up the block for me. Paradise Comics in Norton.
No more bus.
It was great. Carol and John, fantastic. I've been going there for almost, since 1993. I actually worked there for a little while. Helped them on the when the new books would come out. And this is another thing. I know it's very easy nowadays to go online, and do streaming services for comic books and all that. But it's also very important that if you have a comic book store in your area, because a lot of them have been closing over the years, which I understand. It's the pandemic and all this other stuff. And just the price of comics itself is ridiculous and just keep climbing. But I still love the fact that every Wednesday I will go up to the comic book store and meet my group of friends. Like we have a couple of group of friends like Russell and Leo and Mike. And we just sit there and just talk about the new books and talk about the artists and this and that, and what's good, what's bad. but that social interaction is what we've missed in the last 2 years. Well, I know I have. I can't speak for everybody else, but it's a very important. And I've made so many new friends just by going to that bookstore. We would sit there for an hour or two, and people would come in, and we recommend books to them, and we ask them what they're reading, and they'd tell us what we're reading, and we just became friends, and that was a great thing. And it went beyond comic books. We have a group of people that we actually go out to dinner almost monthly, and we just from the fact we went to a comic book store. But that you can't express what it's like to actually go there physically and talk and feel the books in your hand. Like I said, it's easier now with the streaming services, but I'm old school, so that's different for me.
Right. Now, when you went to that show, well, when did you get your first start? Because I was thinking
Oh,
that
I'm sorry. Yeah,
your father was leading towards
yeah,
the.
yeah. It was very very strange this day, because I was I had about $300 I made, which was a lot back then, and I saved up a long time for that. And I was getting some books, and I just could not find anything I like. I'm very strict on the grading on my books. I'm going to pay. I want the book to be in good shape, and I just could not find any of the books I was looking for that day. So I walked past this table, and this dealer had these portfolios laid out, and it caught my eye. I was looking, what is this? And I walked over, and it was pages of original artwork. And I asked the man, I said, what is this? Because I had no idea how comic books were really created back then. It just didn't dawn on me how they did all this. And he was telling me this is the original artworks from the comic books. And I said, like one of those dumb moments, okay, I feel stupid now. But I was looking through it, and I said, wow, this is so cool. I couldn't believe it. But I never thought in a million years this would be some sort of, collector thing going on in the future. I thought it was just like a novelty, like the artist would get the art back and just sell it, and that'd be the end of it, and it would, it was more of a novelty than anything. But I was going through the book, and I found an Avengers cover, 269, the Avengers, beautiful cover, Buscema, Kang versus Immortus.
Yeah. And
I still have that piece. It's in my gallery. And I said, wow, this is fantastic. I love it. And that cost me $125 at that time. And I also got a Thor Annual 12 with Thor and Mephisto on it. So that was my big purchase for the day. That wiped me out, but it was well worth it.
What did your dad say?
He was surprised too, because again, we never thought anybody would be collecting artwork. It just didn't dawn on me at that time. We were more interested in going and getting comic books, at that day. But do
you remember whose table that was that you bought the art
I
from?
wish I could remember. I honestly, I was more interested in looking at the artwork, really. But and also that there was a funny story in that one, because they also had in one of the spare rooms, they had Chris Claremont was there, and he was talking, giving updates on what's going on in Marvel. And he, at the end of the show, before everybody left it, he said, and by the way, people, if you haven't noticed, over the table when you go out the door, John Byrne is over there selling his artwork for X-Men and all that stuff. So the place cleared out like you wouldn't believe. It was funny as hell. You couldn't even get near the table by the time it was done. But back then, you didn't know what people look like. I mean, you get these little cartoons maybe of what they might look like. And I walked past that table about 4 times, and nobody was there at that time. But,
Was he wearing a plaid shirt? I mean, it seemed like John Byrne always drew himself wearing a plaid shirt in the comics.
All I remember is the beard. But I mean,
beard,
my father had a beard too, so it could be any different than that. But it was just so weird. I mean, hindsight is 2020. If you went over there and grabbed one page of those, there's a payment for a house at this point right now. But I was very happy.
Okay, though.
I love, like I said, I was a big Kang fan, so I was really happy I got that cover. And the door page was a throw, so that was really good, But you do what you can. It was a good day. Like I said, the memory with my father was worth more than any of the artwork and the comic books. Those human connections, we need those, and that will keep this whole community alive, and will keep the comic book industry alive. You know, now that people are going out and going to shows, which is great. I'm actually going to the show in Secaucus in April, and
Okay.
hopefully I'll see some of the people there. This is my first show in 2 years. I used to go all the time, and like I said, it was just you couldn't go anywhere. It was
Mhm.
work, and you were a godsend with this channel. I know people have told you that, and then when I'm trying to blow smoke up your ass, it's just this has been a lifesaver for so many people in the past 2 years.
Well, it
I
gave
mean,
me something to do too. I was, I didn't know what I was going to do with myself while, wondering, getting to go to cons again or see people, face to face once COVID started. So if it wasn't for this, I probably would have gone stir crazy as well.
but you just the fact you had the foresight to do this years ago. I mean, I joined in 2006, so
Mm.
it's
Well, we started 2003, so you didn't
yeah,
come on too late.
yeah. But it's just, I mean, I was more busy just going outside riding my bike and all that. I don't know what you would think. But it is. It's been such a lifesaver because I know I'm lucky enough in my area where I have bookstores, comic book stores I can go to, and I can go to New York and go to Philadelphia. Those are really fast rides in the car for me, or Boston if I have to. And I know some people are just not that lucky. They have to do subscription service or streaming, because they don't have anything. But this is really good because, like I said, we got people coming in here from all
Mhm.
over the world, talking, being friendly with each other, and just sharing our love of comic book art and comic books in general. And that's really just a great thing. And that's why we keep trying to build. And that's why every show I'm saying, please introduce yourself, be part of our family, contribute to us.
No, I appreciate it. You
We
warm
love,
everybody up before we get
yeah.
started
Well, it's
all
just,
the time.
like I said, it's just, we want everybody to be happy. This is a safe zone for everybody. No judgments on anybody. Whatever you like commission work, you like covers, you like anime art, you like digital art. It's all under one umbrella. You like paintings, that's under one umbrella for us. And that's your right. You have your gallery and you want to be proud about it. That's great. One of the best parts of being a comic art fan member is every morning I come home from work, I check out the galleries I watch. Then I go on a search and I'll check the new artwork. And I found so many new people and new styles of art that I never would have known in the past if I wasn't part of this. Again, this is another reason we don't want people to come onto this channel and then go over to comicartfans.com so you could see and experience. I remember the first day, this is going back, about early 90s, whatever. I was a member of late 90s, I'm sorry, early 2000s. I was a member of Jeff John's board. He had a board, at the time. And it was pretty cool. We had a couple of artists there, and as a part of a member, you have like a little blog at the bottom. You could paste whatever you want to do with this, whatever you like, whatever books, movies, or that. And that was your little spot you could write on every day. And I remember I was just searching other people's forums, the Joan forum, and one person posted that, check out my new artwork posted. And I said, artwork? He said, okay, let me go take a look. And this person had pieces of artwork and it had a link to your comic art page at the time. And I went on to it and it was like, again, the gates of heaven opened up. I could not believe all this. Again, never in a million years would I have thought about people just collecting artwork. And I was so happy. I mean, I was like a kid in the candy store. I spent at least 3 hours that first day just going through people's galleries, checking out what it was. Fantastic. Very soon after that, I just signed up. I said, this is for me. I wasn't a big art fan. I had a couple pieces and I really wasn't big at that time, but it was like I knew what I wanted in life at that point because comics were getting a little bit boring at that time and you wanted something fresh and again, I had a few pieces and I just never thought about it. But then I was seeing other people's galleries and I said, wow, this is really cool. I can't believe this. So this is how I became a member of the CAF,
Well, I appreciate it. So, going back to after you picked up those first two pieces, and by the way, Ruben says you're making him seasick because you're rocking.
I'm sorry. Sorry, Ruben.
You're just going to rock more now, aren't you?
I'm an old man. I'm supposed to rock.
But you got those first two pieces. So were you bitten by the bug then? I mean, what did you do? Because
No,
did
actually,
you have to
like I
wait for the
said,
next con, or how did you seek
it
out
was
your
more
next
of a
break?
novelty for me. Like I said, I never realized that this would had the foresight to collect original artwork back then. I just loved the character, and I said, "This is really cool." And like I said, I didn't spend any money that day, so I said, "Okay, let me just get it." And I just pretty much put them aside. I kept them in a cabinet, nice, nice dark, so there was no light hitting it. And that was pretty much it until that day when I joined Comic Arts Fans. Like I said, the bug just started biting me, and
Mhm.
back then the options were limited. Like I said, eBay was the big thing at the time. As most people have started out, you'd sit there and scroll through what's coming up on eBay as far as what pieces you're looking for, and you're watching it, and then you're putting a bid in it, and then you got those last couple of minutes where you're waiting and waiting and waiting, waiting to see somebody's going to snipe you at the last minute, or you're going to snipe
The
somebody
good old
else.
days.
Yeah.
It was always
Well,
Ruben sniping you, by the way.
yeah. Yeah, I know.
We know that's his MO. We've
I
learned
better not
Ruben's
at One
ways.
Piece though. But it was, like I said, that was pretty much the only option for me in this area. I don't know about other areas, you
Yeah.
know, but that was the easiest way. And then I actually met a lot of nice comic art pencilers and inkers, and through eBay, which was pretty interesting at the time. But again, the first couple of years, eBay strictly.
Mhm.
And then, again, I started getting more into the Comic Art Fans page, and I was going up and down, checking out, what the art deals you had there posted. So, and another thing for people, if you're first starting, you go on the Comic Art Fans and you see all the listing of all the art deals and all that. Click on them and just sign up. It doesn't cost you anything. You get free email updates, and you might get some pieces that you actually really interested before they actually go up for public sale. That's the best way. I've literally found some great pieces that way. I'll show one of the pages coming up later on. Sorry about that, but it's free. You have nothing to lose, and you might gain something you've been looking for. But again, eBay was the way back then, and I just signed up for those. It was cool, fun times.
They were. They were. I mean, that's really after I bought my first piece of art at a convention, I turned to eBay as well because the dealer sites weren't, they didn't get updated very regularly back in the late 90s.
Oh, I
And
know.
yeah, it was always disappointing. Some guys never reply back to you. And so yeah, eBay was about the best thing out there. And like Mike said, back in the old days, you could actually see who got the art if you
Yeah.
win an auction. So that was always fun.
Well, even back in the day, even comic books were very limited, where you could find them. I know some people might remember the old comic book buyer's guide that came out weekly, the newspaper,
Mhm.
and they had listings in the back of comic books and all that. But again, if you did not get those papers early, somebody would have already bought the books you were looking for at the time they were advertised. So that was a little bit outdated before it even got to you, And you had to be creative back then. I used to first first of the year when the Yellow Pages came out, I would literally go back to the Yellow Pages and look up old bookstores and see if they sold comic books. And then, if they were in the area, I'd go to them and check them out. Or if they're a little farther away, you write them, and ask for a listing of what they had. I mean, and you had to be creative back then. It was just no way around it. I didn't have a car at that time. Yeah, I know.
What
People
is
say,
the
what the
Yellow
hell's the
Page?
phone book?
I did the same thing. When I first started collecting, I remember that you'd pull the Yellow Pages out
Really?
and you'd look up comic shops, and and
Yes.
you'd always find something. Either it was under a memorabilia listing or those sorts of things. And yeah, it was fun. I couldn't wait till I could drive.
It's
And
actually
'cause I didn't have a comic shop within 20 miles of where I was at. I was about 30 miles south of Cleveland. So I had to drive about halfway to Cleveland to get to the nearest comic shop. But fortunately, there were 3 comic shops right in the same area. So I'd make a trip there, and I'd hit each one for different things.
Oh, that was the same way with me in New York. Like I could not stay away from New York on the weekends. I just save up my money the week, go over to New York Saturday morning, have my whole list, like maps. We had the maps. We didn't have Google back then. You had a map of all the places on the streets, and I'd just go up and down New York, from the Village all the way up, and you had your spots, and then you'd find some out of the way places every once in a while, and you'd write them down. It was cool. And back then, for a comic collector, like I said, I didn't have anything close to me. They had Forbidden Planet back then. It's still there, but that was the best way for me to get things from England and all that, because I was a big Judge Dredd fan of 2000 AD, and that was the only way I could really go over there. So I'd go over there, get the newest issues, posters, T-shirts, and then you go down 2 blocks, and there'd be Tower Records back there, and you get all the imports for the records over there. So,
right, I was looking through the first big con I went to was Creation Con in 1980 in Cleveland, and I actually still have the program guide.
Wow!
And look at that sucker. But it was funny. I was looking through it today, and on the inside of the back cover is this Flatbush comics and books, right? And look at who the owner is, James Palmiotti.
Holy cow!
Isn't that funny? So
it's amazing.
This is really nostalgic. I hadn't looked at this thing in a long time, but I had saved it because it's just, it's so cool. They didn't know what to put in these things, right? So they put these little ads, best creation, wishes from blah blah blah. It's so old school that there's a interview with Carolyn Monroe, and look, it's actually typed on a manual typewriter.
Wow.
That's how old this thing is. So so cons back then were fun, and
they were
in
actually.
1980. I was only 12, so I had to have. Now I'm out of focus. Should have held it up to the camera. It'll autofocus eventually.
Yeah.
Son of a gun! I hate when it does that. Anyway, but yeah, back then, my father had to take me to that con as a first con because there was just no way that I was going to get in downtown Cleveland at the age of 12. And man, I'm not going to sit this close to being focused, so my camera better wake up.
And another big thing was the Overstreet Buyer's Guide. Every year when that came out, that was a big event for me.
Yeah.
Not only could you see the grades of the comic books, but in the last couple of pages, it was all books, for sale and art for sale. And again, you have to be fast on the draw and, either call the place up or write the place, but again, you had to be creative back then.
Mm-hmm.
That was, again, fun times. Now it's so much easier. You go on Google and you can pretty much find anything you want, artists or websites or, so much easier.
Very, very true. And yeah, my camera, doggone this thing. Fix yourself. It's not going to fix itself now. I hate this thing. It's even set to not autofocus, and it still does that. Anyway, you know what? We should probably start talking about some art.
Yes, we shall.
So do you want to say anything before we start looking at some artwork?
Yes, we shall. Okay, as far as the announcement, part of this whole interview process is to get people involved in comic art fans. It's nice if you're a member of Comic Art Live and you sign up and you can have the chats over here, which is great. Join the chats. But the main focus is to get you over to comicartfans.com and see what we have over there. As far as you can sign up for free and have a gallery, but also the premium memberships, you get a little bit more, sizing the artwork and some other, tchotchkes, which were great. But I understand $75 is a lot for some people, especially this time now. So my way of playing it forward is that the link below, you'll see my Comic Art Fan site page. And I'm going to pick, I'm going to pick 2 people who email me. They have to be non-premium members at this point. I specify non-premium. I'm sorry, guys, but we are trying to get premium members in, and or if they just signed up.
That's probably everybody in the chat right now is pretty.
I know. I'm sorry, guys. Maybe we'll do something a little bit later for you. But again, the whole purpose is to get new members in, get them to show some great artwork they may have hidden in a closet, But if you email me and say just on the header, say Mr. Red Jack's YouTube comic art drive or something like that, so I know. And I'll pick 2 people, and you'll be upgraded to a premium membership for a full year. And then if you like it, hopefully you'll like it, you'll stay and become a membership, after that.
That's right. That's right. Dino said that some CAF members have burner accounts.
Yes, I know. But it's like I said, we're trying, and
No, no. Hey, Brian, it's really appreciate. I mean, more honestly, you do more than enough for CAF just in the chats and everything. So, when you told me you want to do this, of course I really appreciated it. It's certainly you're going above and beyond what you do for us day in and day out here on the live channel. So, I appreciate that. So like you heard, Brian said, just anybody who's not premium member out there. Even if you're not watching live and you're watching the show tomorrow, hit him up. But he's going to pick 2 people at random and that email him. He's going to double check that you're not premium.
yeah.
So we'll go back to your CAF gallery to confirm.
And give me 24 to 48 hours because I do work 6 days a week. So, but I'll get back. If you haven't heard from me within 48 hours, I've already found the 2 people. Maybe we'll do something again eventually.
But yeah, so it's again, Brian's link to his CAF gallery is in the description of the show. So if you just scroll down, you'll see the link and click over there. Email him through his CAF gallery, and he will let you know who got it. And you know what? Maybe by Thursday, if not this Thursday, next Thursday, Brian, we can let everybody know who
yeah, that'd be fine. Yeah.
Or maybe we shouldn't. Who knows?
I'll just say we picked 2 people. That's it.
That's right. That's right. But all right, no, I appreciate that. So so why don't we look at some art?
Sure.
That's
what
why
we're here
all
for.
And everybody's high-fiving you right now, Brian. If you
That's all right. I mean, like I said, it's just we want to grow this channel and spread it. You don't want to just have the same bunch of people. We want to see somebody else's new art, and that's the only way we're going to grow. And that's
right.
That's how it is.
Well, I mean, as you've seen, when Chris and I do our favorite picks during the CAF update, we always lament the smaller scans. And by and large, that's typically a non-premium member, but sometimes you can't pass up the art because it's too fantastic. So even when
it is.
We still want to feature that artwork. So all right, well let's now the art's in no particular order, everybody. This is an unorchestrated list of art.
Much like my life in general.
So I'm just gonna start showing them, and Brian's gonna start talking about them.
Okay, this is Infinity Inc. This is the death of Brainwave. I love Infinity Inc. I was a big fan with All-Star Squadron, and it was one of the best things was when they introduced the second generation of the JSA members. Like you had Brainwave Jr., Northwind, and a couple other people, and it was just great. This is Jerry Ordway artwork. I'm big fan of Jerry's. He can do no wrong in my eyes. He's very stable, and if he's doing a book, you're going to get at least good artwork from it. So I've always been a fan. And again, this is the last minutes where Brainwave gets killed, and he actually passes his powers on to his son, Brainwave Jr. So just beautifully laid out and classic Ordway to me. Can't beat it. And it's oversized art too. So.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, this is an oversized page.
No, it's beautiful. I love Ordway as well.
Yeah, he's. I don't want to disrespect him because I love his artwork, and he doesn't do a lot like some artists would just draw in everything. His style is. I could just see him back in the 40s and 50s working on comic books because that's his style for me. That's what I think of, at least, and it's no disrespect to him. I love his style. It's just, that's the way I always picture him. So.
And how long have you had this page?
Oh God, I honestly, I couldn't even remember, but this was a page I bought off of eBay, actually.
No,
yeah, it's a very classic read. You're right, Michael. The first 10 issues were fantastic. They really were. And they had the Baxter paper back then, that big, thick paper, when you could show the artwork off a little bit better.
No, great piece. I wish I bought more art on eBay.
Yeah, me too. Like I said, there was a time back in the 90s, I was collecting everything. It was just crazy. And you didn't have time to do. If I just concentrated on one thing, it would have been better. But unfortunately, I was all over the place: sports cards, figures, records, posters. Whatever it was, I was buying it.
And you did you keep most of everything that you bought?
Yes, I do. Actually, yes. This is I call this the bunker in this room. This is the bunker. Downstairs is the warehouse.
What's in the case behind you?
That is some
More comics?
yeah. Like this is my Master Comics 21.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, beautiful. I love this. And there's a member on the CAF who has the artwork to actually Master Comics 22. I couldn't believe it to see something survive like that. It's just basically, just some books I set up and I have them in Mylar case. The one best thing I ever did back in the 90s, I bought Mylar for all my comic books, and it keeps them in beautiful shape. Literally, some of them have been in there since the early 90s, and they just pristine pages. But that's, I keep some. We have some books over here, books downstairs. It's all over the place.
Nothing wrong with surrounding yourself with comics.
Yeah, really. It's good to read on a rainy day when you come home and you're tired. You just want to read a couple books.
So those are long boxes to your right.
Yeah. Well, actually, the little short boxes.
The short box. Okay.
Yeah, the long boxes are downstairs in like I said, the warehouse. And one of the best things, actually, I should remember. I should say is back to the time when my father went to the convention.
Mm-hmm.
After that, I noticed like I usually leave some books around on the table, and when I come home at night or in the morning, I would see him actually in his rocking chair, and he'd be reading the comic books. So that was actually pretty cool. So every now and then I'd leave like a pile over there for him, and and he'd read them. So it was great. Yeah, it's a way to pass on from generation to generation.
Yeah, no, my dad was a pressman at the Cleveland Press. And so he would bring home the Sunday funnies all the time with the plates, so we'd get to experience that side of the world. It wasn't a long job because once it went digital, he kind of keep up with it. But he was like a pressman's apprentice for many years in the newspaper business. So, but yeah, he was big into comics. Well, I wouldn't say he was big into comics. He enjoyed reading comics as well. So it was. And he was he enjoyed drawing a lot, so he was a good role model for me, certainly. All right, well, let's look at some more art again in no particular order here.
Oh, this is actually a commission I had from Bob Layton, who is also a CAF member.
Yes, he is.
And this stems back from the early years. Like my first actual commission was back in 2006. It was actually a Sea Caucus show. It was a Friday night, and Ethan Van Sciver was there, and I actually had a commission done to him. And I always wanted to have I saw jam pieces back then of teams and all that by different artists and all that. And I said that's a cool idea, and I always wanted to do the Monster Society of Evil because I was a Captain Marvel fan. So I was figuring, okay, let me do, get Ethan to do one figure, and he did one figure, and I loved it so much I didn't want anybody else to draw anything around it. So that idea was scrapped for a little while. So fast forward to the 90s, I saw Bob listing in his gallery site, and I said, okay, let me ask for a commission. Let me see if I could do this now. And I was trying to think, okay, what would be the best way to get the Monster Society of Evil? And I said, okay, wait, the Secret Society of Supervillains cover #1, Early Chan.
Mm-hmm.
I said, that would be fantastic. We would just superimpose the Justice League members and the Secret Society to the Monster Society of Evil and Captain Marvel, and Bob did a bang up job. Like I said, beautiful. As you can see, that's the first issue cover, and that's what he did. Beautiful work. And he, like I said, you could get commissions from him on his comic art gallery. I would suggest you do it, really. The man is known for Iron Man, but he does so much more. Check out his galleries. Worth it. Really worth it.
I mean, Mr. Easy Go Lucky wanted to know if he did the type and the title. It looks
he
like
did everything.
Yeah.
Everything. Yep.
No, Bob does a great job.
Yes, he does.
Commissions. Yeah, he
And he
has.
still does great work. So
He's
yeah,
been a
it's
long
great.
time CAF member too. So yeah, he and I have emailed quite a bit. I wish I could. I have. You know what? I've never asked him if he'd go on to one of these shows with me. I
Be a
should.
smart idea, I'm
Yeah.
sure.
Well, he's got a huge following, so it'd be fun to have him on here. I'll email with him and see.
And of
This
course,
looks familiar.
yes, it does. As most know, this was one on Dueling Dealers. So if you're not familiar, on Comic Art Lives Wednesday nights 9 o'clock, we have the Dueling Dealers show with Mike Berkey and Anthony Snyder. So they do the best job of bringing the best artwork to the fans and not charging outrageous prices as far as like auction houses. And I saw this piece, and I'm not the biggest Thanos fan, but I just cannot believe the beauty of this page. It was just gorgeous, the painting, and Mike Berkey was selling it. And of course, it was 4,500, but then he kept dropping the price down. And I did the recap, and I was thinking, well, that's pretty cool. And yeah, Mikhail was trying to get it a little bit cheaper, and Mike didn't agree on it. But that's when I just said, okay, I'm going to go for it because it's beautiful, and you can't pass up a painting like that. It's huge and it's just beautiful. And I brought it to the local Michaels, and they did a fantastic job framing it. The colors, I don't know if it carries over, but they're almost the color of his uniform and the gold trim. And they have the UV glass plating that you can't see, museum quality. And it was great because the young lady I was talking to that was helping me frame this, she was a big comic arts fan, and she was actually a very good drawer. She was drawing Wonder Woman, like 60s pop style. She was showing me some, and she was very, very talented. So it was a love of art between us that she helped me. Really took a lot of time, and we picked up the right frame, and it came out beautiful. So I'm very happy, and I'm very thankful for Mike and Anthony. They do great service to everybody, every Wednesday, and they help people that can't afford to get really good artwork, that they can get good artwork, and they have time payments, and that helps a lot. I've done a lot of business with Anthony. He's a great guy. Like I said, go over there. If you're ever in New Jersey, Moonachie, go see him. Great warehouse. You'll be there a couple hours. He has got a great staff there. Like I said, and Miss Sharon, you know how she is. Beautiful cakes.
Yeah, you usually pick up a piece of cake when you're there too, I think.
Yeah, I actually have never gotten a piece of cake there yet.
Hey, that's not fair.
No,
Anthony's in the chat. He's got to fix that.
But I'm telling you, you'll spend hours there. It's so much fun. Like I said, and it's just great. And Anthony's a sweetheart, really. He may sound like a grumpy bear sometimes, but he really is, and he'll help you. But he's got slab books, artwork,
I think everybody's impression of Anthony is improving.
He's the ultimate showman, though. That's fantastic. I mean,
he's
for more.
Actor ham at heart.
He really is, but that's great. I mean, that you have, and Mike, he's just the energy he gives off when he sells his pieces. It's just contagious. You want to buy. That's his secret weapon. He makes you want to buy stuff that way.
Yeah, he would make a good used car salesman.
I was going to say that.
He's not watching tonight, so I can say that.
I know he's on his vacation, but
yes, he is. He's down in Disney today. Oh no, at Epcot today. He was going to Disney World tomorrow, I think. Well, no, Thursday. He'll be on the show tomorrow. He's actually going to be at his condo or whatever he's renting down there. So that'll be interesting. Let's see what else we got here.
Oh, this is you want to talk about an inking job and bricks. This is it. This was when they relaunched the JSA book, and they had the newer sons and daughters and allies of the JSA. And the first couple of issues, it was the villain Vandal Savage. He was going around trying to wipe out the bloodlines of all JSA members, their families, allies, their families, and he had the Fourth Reich led by Captain Nazi, and they'd send them out, and then they'd slaughter all the family members. So Vandal Savage showed up to Wildcat. Wildcat found out he had a son, so he went to see his son over here, and Vandal Savage attacked them both, and his son never told Ted Grant that he was able to change into actual Wildcat himself. Beautiful job. Dale Inglesham, and just gorgeous. The action shot of him just jumping out when he first transformed into the Werecat or the Wildcat #2, and the inking is just spectacular. The shading on it, gorgeous. I mean, the teeth, the claws, the mane on them, you can't ask for more.
Yeah, it's absolutely beautiful. I mean,
It really is.
superb.
Action shots. I'm. If you see my galleries, I'm a big Splash fan, man. You know, that's just I love a good dramatic splash page, last page. So
You said Eagle Sham inked it, right?
yeah. Oh no. Sorry. Oh shoot.
We can check your calf gallery and find out, probably.
Yeah. I'm just drawing a blank. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna open it up.
Jose. It's tough when you get old. I'm sorry.
That's all right. Someone in the chat will.
Yeah, somebody will look it up, I'm sure, but it's just gorgeous. Yeah, the inking was spectacular on this. It really was. And this is Kevin McGuire, New Jersey's own Kevin McGuire. Actually, yeah, very much. You can't mistake Kevin McGuire's artwork. He actually born in Kearney, New Jersey, which is a couple minutes away from where I live. So that's our claim to fame. And this was issue 4 when they relaunched the Justice League. And this was just a breath of fresh air in the industry at the time, because this book was just fun to read. It really was. You get so tired of books being, this one cosmic thing and they're wiping out the universe and, this and that. This was just a fun read. And this is Booster Gold when he first shows up. This is actually reverse of the cover of issue 4. So in the issue 4, you see Booster Gold and the backside of Ace. This is the interior page of it. But like I said, he wants to join the Justice League that time, and he finds out the Royal Flush gang has shown up and they've beaten the JLA, and it's up to him to stop them. And again, very imposing Ace figure. I love the Royal Flush gang. I just love the overall costume design of them. Always been a big fan of them. I always get commissions of Royal Flush gangs. People think I'm crazy, but that's it. It really is. But just gorgeous. Like I said, very imposing figure of Ace and Booster Gold. That's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Michael.
He was, yeah.
I was looking through his gallery as well. I hadn't gotten to it yet.
I just drew a blank there for a minute, but thank you, Michael. But yes, very imposing.
Oh, this is an amazing page.
Me too. I figured you would, Anthony, because of the whole gambling thing.
Right. That's true. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. But yeah, I was very happy to get this page. It was the only page I have of Kevin McGuire, but I'm really happy it was this page, actually.
Well, it's a fantastic page.
Yeah. And again, I love a good splash page, dramatic splash page. And I know Ruben is a little sore because I bet him out on this page. But Ruben has a great collection of Teen Titans. And this was bringing back one of the greatest villain groups ever. The Brotherhood of Evil, Monsieur Mala, The Brain, Plasma, Warp, Hooligan. I mean, fantastic costume designs on them. And again, just dramatic. I love a dramatic splash. That gets you to get that next page, next comic when it comes out. And this did it for me. I was a big Teen Titans fan back then, and I loved like I said, I loved the bad guys, the Brotherhood of Evil. Fantastic, Yeah, Brainy. And if people haven't seen the Doom Patrol on, I don't want to give a free plug, but HBO Max, I'd suggest you. It is so much fun. It is. They nail it perfectly. If you haven't seen it, I would suggest you go watch them. They're fantastic. They actually had the Brotherhood of Evil in the last season that just passed, and it's so much fun to see them live. A talking gorilla and a brain.
Yeah, I only watched the first season. So
it got better.
I thought it was all right. It was
good, but it was getting better. It was more like the '90s Doom Patrol. They nailed it perfectly, all the characters, and it was just fun. You need a good relief after a hard day's work, and
And that one was perfect.
It really is. Dramatic splashes, you got me every time.
All right, well, I'm gonna have to go back and watch because I just finished finally watching Reacher on.
Reacher was very good.
Yeah, I finally finished that yesterday, so I
Yeah,
need something new.
very bloody, but it was very fun though.
It was very enjoyable.
And I always say Alan Rickman.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, Alan. He would have been a perfect Hawkman for the movie. He had the build, just overall appearance. He would have been. I know. I'm not trying to dis. And even I would be great to see him as Hawkman though.
Sure.
No, he had, like I said, the big imposing build and all that. But I'm very happy to wait for this new Black Adam movie to come out. So, and this is
That's
a
gonna be
beautiful.
interesting.
Yeah, this is a beautiful page again by Dale. This is when the JSA had a visit from the Kingdom Come Superman. He actually came to this world. So this was him, this young lady who decided she wanted to end her life, and she jumped off a building, and the JSA was trying to get there to rescue her, but they weren't there in time. And the Kingdom Come Superman just did what he always does, swooped in, saved her. And there's certain phrases I associate with every hero, whatever that. And this just for me pictures it perfectly. You could see Superman just tenderly holding her in his arms, and I could just see him saying, "I got you, I got you. Don't worry, I have you." You know, it's just a very tender moment and beautifully done. And you see she's crying. You know, it's tough nowadays. I understand people get very depressed. The situations going on in the world and the pandemic and all that, and it's very easy to make bad choices. We've all gone some dark places in our thoughts, maybe at one time or the other. I know I have, and this just is a reminder that no matter how dark it gets, no matter how bad it is, what situation you are in, you know, abuse, drugs, depression, it can get better if you could just reach out and ask for help and just make it to that next day and be like this young lady and she survived. And they may not have Superman coming down, swooping and helping you out, but there's people at the ends of phone lines like the suicide prevention hotline and the lifeline and all that. They're willing to talk to you and help you out and get you in that good frame of mind, because life is really beautiful and you have to be there to enjoy it. Just don't throw it away because you're hitting a bad patch. There's always good options. You just got to fight, you know. But this page always reminds me of that. It really does. No matter how bad things get, I will look at this page and say, I'm good. I'm good.
So do you look at your calf gallery more than the portfolios, or the other way around?
Yeah, it's actually very easy because I come home from work and I'll sit down, have my lemon tea and all that, and I'll go on main page. I'll check the new artwork out. I'll check the watch galleries. Again, another perk is being a member is you have watch galleries and people post their artwork and you get to see their artwork first. So, and then I do searches. But yeah, I will look through my gallery, you know, almost daily, just, you know, see if things could be improved, or maybe the edit, the description, or I might have missed something. Like some people have in the past corrected me, like I may have made a mistake with a writer or an artist, whatever that, which is fine. I appreciate it. You know, can't always be perfect, but I daily I do go check at least once a day my gallery. You know, like I said, that's the way to
people use CAF as their, you know, instead of pulling the portfolios out.
It really is. I actually have used it to show friends. Like I'll have a link, you know, because you can sit there all day and try. I got this piece. I got this piece. I got this piece. But I just give them a link to my CAF gallery, and they could take a look at their leisure, you know, which is cool.
Yeah, I agree.
And this is again, I'm a Hawkman fan. Steve Lear doing a beautiful Hawkman. I mean, this is badass Hawkman to me. This is the epitome of what Hawkman is. Just walking through the sewers, you know. You see the rat. The detail is fantastic in there. You see the rat in the water, and he's just sludging along, and he's ready to kick somebody's ass, pretty much. But it's just gorgeous. I love Hawkman. I love the overall design. And if you're drawing a Hawkman, get the wings right and get the helmet right. Please don't screw those up. I've seen some bad drawings of Hawkman, but this is just beautiful work. I love it.
And this one is fabulous too.
And if you could see up, there's a slogan up the top on the corner. Everyone goes to their own hell in their own way. And I use that phrase a lot. It is so true. Everybody has their own hell they face every day. Again, going back to what we were just talking about, you never know what that next person you're talking to is facing that day. So try to be a little kind to them, and understand. And I say that phrase almost daily to people. You just never know what hell they're going through. So a little kindness goes a long way.
That's true. And Ruben, I want to know who drew it. It's Steve Lieber.
Yeah,
and,
Steve.
I think, let's see, inks by Kurt Schultz.
Yeah. But it's just badass to me. I love a good Hawkman. And Man Bat, one of my favorites. This is from the backup story in the Detective Comics 492, I think it was. And beautifully, I've seen renditions of Man Bat, and I think this is one of the best. It's just fantastic. He's coming home, wants to see his wife, and Honey, I'm Home is so funny to me, at least. And the artist Romeo Tangal, fantastic. One of the best Man Bats I've ever seen in my life. I just love it overall.
Marcus is sensing a theme with characters with wings.
Yeah, really. Well, Marcus is one of the great reasons to join, because he's usually there in the CAF. If you post a new piece of artwork, he will be there and give you a beautiful description of that piece. Like I said, it's worth the money itself just to have Marcus be one of the people to give his thoughts on the piece. He really is. He's a really nice young man, And the credit to this
sometimes he'll write you a song too.
He really does. The song's
I've got a couple. I've considered reading them on my CAF updates every once in a while. I should do that.
But he does a great. I mean, a lot of people do, but he does really. I don't know where he gets the free time. I literally posted a comment on somebody's page, and I was the first one. I go, where the hell's Marcus? Because he's usually there first. I was like, there's something special. I was like the first one to write it down.
Michael says he's trying to get Marcus to write his descriptions. Yeah. Yeah. Rick says, don't read them, sing them. Every once in a while, I'm like, I don't get it. And then the song he's riffing on, and then I'll just start singing it. And I'm like,
it clicks in.
Oh, man. Let's see here. What do we got next? Here we go.
Oh, this is I know people say Grail pieces a lot, and this is my Grail piece. This is the cover, All-Star Squadron. Jerry Ordway, just fantastic. I was a big fan of that title when it came out. I loved it. And Jerry's work again, and Rich Buckler too. Fantastic. And this is another example of when I said before about signing up on emails to art sites. Like, I never thought I would ever see this page, or this comic whatsoever. And I had signed up to a graphic. Was it
Mitch's site? Graphic Club?
Yeah, Mitch's site. And it was a Friday night. I was looking through my emails, and I saw an email from him saying we're having a silent auction this night, and we're putting this cover up for sale. And everybody submit their high bid. And I just, my mind just was blown for a minute, because I said, wait, is that the cover I love? And I checked my book, and it said, wow, it is. And I go, okay, this is going to cost a fortune. I just had no chance in hell, because, it's a beautiful. This is my favorite piece, my favorite cover of the whole run, and that's saying a lot, because Jerry did some beautiful covers in that one. But as you can see, Captain Marvel is giving Superman the beatdown. And I did say Captain Marvel, not Shazam. He is Captain Marvel to me. So don't give me that crap about it. He will always be Captain Marvel. And the JSA is coming to save Superman's ass as usual.
Poor Superman.
Yeah, Superman. I mean, it's great to be Superman, but again, writing Superman, you can't, he's so powerful, you have to depower him a little, actually. And as you could see, Captain Marvel uses, in this story, it was Adolf Hitler used the Spear of Destiny to split Captain Marvel with Billy Batson, and he actually separated the two, and he had control of Captain Marvel as an evil Captain Marvel, so he sent him to destroy Superman. So that was the story. But it was, like I said, beautiful cover. My favorite pieces is probably the last piece I'll ever sell if I ever sell it. You know, I love this cover.
Somebody was asking when you picked it up. I know it was added in your calf gallery in '06. So
Yeah, I probably didn't post it right away because again, it took a little time for me to post. You know, so I couldn't tell you exactly the date, but I do remember it was the silent auction that I won this on. And again, it cost me nothing. I just signed up and they sent me an email that they were doing this. And that's, again, I tell people just to sign up. You may find a piece you never found in your life, and this is it. For me, this is beautiful for me. I love it.
it's amazing. It really is. And I'm not a DC guy, and I like this one too.
And of course, you have Hawkman in the background too.
Well, of course, that's a bonus.
That's always a bonus for me.
And David Bart says, "Great collection, Brian."
Thank you very much, David. I know that David's another person I've met over in the chats, and again, just met him and we've talked, and he's come over in my gallery and made some comments, and we back and forth. Again, a friendship just made from the chat. You know, very easy. And this, 2000 AD fans and all that, Judge Dredd. I love the Dark Judges and Judge Death. My favorite, best characters ever made in my life, actually. And this was done by Ethan back in I think 2006, 2007. Now I know people have problems with Ethan and some of his politics, but Ethan lives down South Jersey, and I've met him a few times in shows and all that, and he's treated me with nothing but respect. And you know, that's how I had to go by. You know, whatever his politics are, that's fine. That's him. But I look at the artist itself and the art, and this is just a great drawing of Judge Death. Like you said, it's almost, as you can see in the background, like he's coming through a doorway, and Judge Death is like 8 feet tall, and he's like ducking down almost to come in and, you know, put his hand through somebody's heart. But just the line work on this alone and the grin on his face, you know, just pure evil. But it's a beautiful job. I said I have a couple pieces from Ethan, and he's always done wonders for me. Like I said, and he was a big factor in the Flash rebirth and the Green Lantern rebirth. And he's doing the own thing with Cyberfrog. He's making a little empire out of that. So God bless him. Like I said, yeah, I've nothing but good to say about him.
Nope, I understand. He and I were good friends for a long time because, you know, when I started getting serious about art collecting, he was drawing, you know, new X-Men and a few other things. So I met him several times at cons. But yeah, you know, and I agree with Mikhail. He's rubbed a lot of people the wrong way.
Yes, he has.
He told. Remember, I don't know if everybody remembers. It was about 9 or 10 months ago. He popped in, I think, to see what we do here because he heard about us doing the dueling dealer stuff, and he actually said I sucked. And I looked at it and I'm like, is that really him? And I went on the Twitter after the show and I texted him. I'm like, did somebody hack your account, or did you really go on there and tell me I suck? He told me it was him. I'm like, you loser. You probably had too much to drink that night. But I know. I mean, but I haven't really talked to him for quite.
Yeah, it's
great talent, but yeah, he does his.
He's got his own thing going. That's fine.
Yeah, I hear you.
Like I said, I've dealt with some artists in the past that I've heard had bad reputations, and I've met them.
Right. Well,
they're fine. You know,
right. And that's the thing. You know, in this day and age, if you have an opinion that isn't well received, like many of his, you know, he has the opportunity to let everybody know about it and dislike it. You know, you never know some of the creators in the past. It's better that we didn't have the internet and they didn't have platforms to say, say what they felt. But you know, but I agree with everybody. You know, Ethan's kind of gone. You know, he's still
well, like I said, it's his opinion. I just go by the artwork itself. And
right. No. Hey, that's an amazing, you know, commission. I mean, it really is.
Yeah, he really nailed it for me. And it was, like I said, I don't, whatever politics, that's their business, you know, in the end of the day. He did a job I commissioned for, and I was fine with it.
Yep. I don't blame you. I've got a few still.
And of course, this is one of my favorite pieces. I won this on eBay. Just the Masters of Evil with Baron Zemo. he's decided he's going to take out the Avengers and the previous issues, Buscema artwork, and he was systematically knocking off the Avengers one by one without actually, physical combat. He was working on their weaknesses and dividing the team and having some people go off, and breaking up the team one by one until the point was he had his whole bunch of Masters of Evil just come to the Avengers Mansion, break in, take it over. And one of the funny lines over here is you could see they have Jarvis the Butler tied up, and you can see Mr. Hyde saying, "Bah, it was too easy." And one of the records said, "I'm just angry because I stopped him from breaking his arms off." But it's a great storyline. Again, this would be worth a movie if they ever did a movie about this storyline. It was a fantastic storyline. Like I said, Zemo, master strategist, he pretty much knocked out the Avengers without even firing a shot. They were divided already, and it was just easy pickings for them just to go right into the Avengers Mansion and take over. But of course, the Avengers came back, so of course Cap led them.
It's a great page. Tom Palmer inks, fantastic.
Yeah, Palmer, again, one of the underrated, steady people.
Oh, heck yeah.
Really should get more praise in my book.
I agree. No, it's he did a lot of work in comics. I mean, it's Sinet's always going to be probably everybody's favorite in a lot of ways, but Palmer really made a lot of people look great. A lot of pencilers look fantastic.
And this is another plus of being on eBay back in the day was Gene Espy. I don't know if some people are familiar with him. He does a lot of beautiful pencil work of superheroes, superheroines. Like I said, this is a beautiful, mature Supergirl. You can see the face. She's a little bit, a little bit mature in the age, but she's just enjoying the day out. Like as a person would be walking on a sunny day in the streets or in the park. She just flies up in the air and beautifully portrayed, and she's just enjoying the day, having the sun. And I've got a lot of pieces of Gene. He does beautiful work. And like I said, he does a beautiful female form, and he does a little bit risky, but that's fine, to each his own. But like I said, I'm not a big Supergirl fan, but I did not pass this one up because he just did a beautiful job on this one. As you can see, just a smile on her face. She's really happy, enjoying the day out in the sun, in the air, of course.
No, good pickup. Did you pick it up directly from him?
No, I said it was an eBay.
It was an eBay pickup.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah. For a time, I was getting eBay from him. I have maybe 10 pieces altogether from him. But like I said, he just did some beautiful pencil work. He does color and all that, color pages and all that. But I don't know if he's still active now. I haven't really seen anything. But again, back in the day,
he was big on eBay for a while there. I remember.
Yeah, he was big. And this is, of course, being a JSA fan. This is one of my crowning achievements. This is the Black Rain. Again, one of the best storylines ever. And I think this is what they're going to be basis of the new Black Adam movie. Pretty much, they're going to use a lot of this. This was Black Adam deciding that he was actually a semi-member of the JSA at the time, and he got fed up that their inactions let villains go, back and forth to the jail, then they'd get out. His idea was, well, let's just kill the villains. And he broke away from the JSA and decided to form his own team, which was a shock at the time because he recruited Atom Smasher, who was a JSA member at the time. That was a big part. And also you had Northwind and Brainwave and the new Eclipso and Nemesis, who was a daughter of a assassin. And again, gorgeous Don Kramer art, and Keith Champagne did the inks. And like I said, dramatic splash page. If you want to read a Justice Society books, read the Black Rain. I know they have collected in hardcovers and soft covers. And it's sort of like a basis, again, what they're going to be doing for the Black Adam movie coming out in a couple months. But gorgeous. And so many twists and turns in this storyline. It went over to Hawkman and came back to Justice League. The villains were heroes, heroes were villains, and you just didn't know what was going on in the next. But it was just very shocking. They brought back some original JSA member, and it was, like I said, fantastic read from end to finish. I'm lucky enough that I have almost all the pages out of this particular book. So I was very happy with that.
Caesar's very happy with all the DC art tonight.
I know. I don't want to sound like I'm not a Marvel fan, because I do love Marvel. It's just I was more drawn to I was always a Justice Society fan, Flash fan, and all that, you know. But I do love Marvel. I don't want to sound like I'm just DC, but it was more for a connection. I know you're more of a Marvel fan yourself, Bill, but that's fine.
I am. No, diversity is good on this show. It really is. I mean,
I've seen that. I read more of DC.
I don't go out of my way just to pick people who collect Marvel art.
Like, yeah, it's
interviews. It might feel like that sometimes.
And this is, of course, another dramatic splash page. The first appearance of Zoom. You know, the Flash had his Professor Zoom, and this was when they rebooted the Flash again as Wally West, and so they figured out, okay, let's bring up a really good villain for him to, you know, spar with, and so they had Zoom here. He was actually a police detective, a profiler, and he had his back broken by Solomon Grundy. I'm sorry, Gorilla Garage, Solomon Grundy. But and he wanted Flash to use his cosmic treadmill to get back his ability to walk. And Flash said no, so he took over responsibility, got on the treadmill, got into the Speed Force, and came back as Zoom and wanted to teach Flash to be a better hero by having him go through very big tragedy in his life, like trying to kill his wife, kids, and all that. That his thinking was make him a better hero in the end. But again, Scott Collins and Doug Hazelwood actually got this on eBay, and it was funny because at the time Doug had a couple pages left. This was his last page, and didn't want to put it up, but I think at the time he had bought a house and all that, and he had wanted to get like $400 for it. He was good. We emailed after I won this. He goes, Brian, I was afraid to ask $400 for this. I was hoping to get $400 for this, and I was pretty much the only bidder at the time. I was like a 3 something, but then at the end, with a couple of minutes left, of course the price kept going up and up and up, and somebody passed me, and I said, "Oh, I don't want to lose this piece." So at the very last second, I went like $425, which was like $5 over what the previous bidder did, and I actually won. So, and Doug was very happy. He goes, "Thank you, Brian. I was afraid to ask for $400." I said, "I'm so happy I got it." I said, "Oh, don't worry, Doug." It's just, again, a beautiful dramatic splash piece. I love a good villain, and as much as I love the Flash, I love the Reverse Flash better because he was just so much cooler to me, you know.
I didn't read it.
Yeah, it's a good read. It really is. Yeah. But again, yeah, it was like I said, it's just the idea as being a kid as a Flash fan, the idea that you could run fast and just run around the world in a couple of minutes, you know, that was pretty cool, you know. But again, I love Professor Zoom, and this was Wally West's version of Professor Zoom, you know, just Zoom. And this, again, I am a very big fan of Michael Baer. As you know, Steve Morger was representing him, and I got a lot of artwork from him. A big wow! This was one of the pages I got. As you can see, this was a storyline Injustice Speed Done, where the Injustice Society was taking on a Justice Society, and they're trying to summon this entity, evil god, the King of Tears. And that whirlwind is where the King of Tears was, and Johnny Sorrow, you know, held some prisoner there. And that's the Spectre. He fought the King of Tears, and of course he was on a losing end, and he wound up a skeletal body. But this is very foreboding in the fact that, as you can see, this book came out in 2001, March 2001, and there's the World Trade Center, and there's a skeleton body next to it, and it was just, unfortunately, just a point where art is going to imitate life. And then about 5 months from then, when 9/11 happened, it was very, very foreboding, but it was very amazing that was the layout before it even happened.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it was a very strong piece. I love Michael's inks. He's really one of my favorites. I met him a couple times at conventions. He's a really cool guy. And one of the shows I remember, it was a Big Apple Con, and I went over to him, and he was like drawing some commissions for people. And I talked to him. I said, I really love your work, and I really loved your JSA work and your Hawkman work with Rags Morales. They were a wonderful team together on that title. And for like 10 minutes, I was kissing his ass really good, saying how great he was. And he was really cool. I mean, I was nervous meeting him because he has the long hair and like the rock star look almost type back then. And he was really cool to talk to. And I talked to him, and he goes, "Hey, Brian, before you go, let me just show you this that I'm working on. I shouldn't really be showing you this." And what was that? And he pulls out this 2-page spread he was doing for a book that he goes, "Here, let me just show you this." And it was the actual pages 2 and 3 of the Identity Crisis that he just finished inking, that he was going to send off to DC to have it done. He goes, "Here, you take a look at this." And I was just dumbfounded. It was beautiful work. It was all the villains sitting around the table, Cronus there and all that. And I was very happy that he showed me. He was really cool about it, But I just love his inks. Some say it might be a little bit darker than it should be, but I think he does a great job whatever he inks, honestly. And again, unfortunately, this is very foreboding.
Yeah.
But it's just strange that the timing of this page and what happened 5 months later,
I feel like I emailed with Bear recently, and I was just trying to check my email while you were talking, and I can't.
Yeah, I haven't really seen anything or heard from.
No, well, he hasn't updated his CAF since
a long
2014. But I checked, and he's logged in within the last week, so he's definitely active on the site.
I really wish you. I mean, I love his work.
Yeah, it's I've got to. I swear I emailed with him like not 6 months ago, and I just tried to do a search in my email, and I can't find it. It's because I was hoping to answer Marcus's question. What's he been up to?
Yeah, really. He's again, a lot of the artists, sort of disappeared now, according to what DC's doing with the artists and all that. But again, I love his work. I collect as much as his work as I could find, actually. But he was really cool to meet that day. And like I said, Rags is really cool, and they made a great team on Hawkman and Justice Society. And so I was in love with those books. So it was a pleasure to meet him in person. Again, this is one of the things, if you can go to a convention, I know you may not have conventions, but if you get a chance, and you don't have to have a lot of money. First couple of times I went, I didn't have a lot of money, but I just walked around and just wanted to see and feel and what was going on. You could see all the books lined up. The Golden Age books it was great, and you meet people. Some of the best people I've met were like the first couple of New York Comic Cons, and just sitting in line waiting for you to get into that. And yet people all around the world, they had their sketchbooks, and we were just sitting on the floor talking to each other, comparing the sketchbooks and artists and who we're going to see and all that. And you make really good friendships out of that, and you just can't get that all the time off of internet. Again, it's highly recommended. If you could get to a show, just go to a show, just walk around, talk to the artists. One of the best things about going to a convention, I know if most people have like the favorite artists that they, if you're going to go right away to the table, like a big name, and stand online for 2 hours and hopefully they'll get a signature or a drawing, whatever. But it's always kind of cool to go to the very last row and all the way down, the artists over there, the not big names maybe, and they're over there sitting and drawing by themselves, and there's not really any crowd over there. Make it a point to go down there and see them and talk to them. You never know what you get at. They could be the next big artist, and you might be there on the ground floor talking to them. That's but true. Just say hi. Manners are appreciated, and even etiquette. We could ask them. Sometimes they can't even get up from the table. Say, can I get you a bottle of water or whatever, something. I used to carry a bag with me all the time with extra water and ask the artists, if they want a water or like a little thing of crackers or something like that, just to hold them over until they get free time to get away from the table. It's all etiquette and kindness. It does pay off.
It does.
Yeah.
I had one of the big WoW shows. I had to be Stanley's handler, and it was by and large it was me. My job was to get him an Orange Crush when he wanted it. But I did get to hang out with him for 2 straight days, so that was fun.
Well, that's in it. That's a bonus in itself. Like I said, that's
I didn't mind. I knew where the Orange Crush.
I'd be shining his shoes at that point if you wanted.
Yep, that's very true. Very, very true.
But no, it's like I said, just etiquette in general. I know you want to rush and get the artists and get online first, but just go walk around. I always made it a point to walk around and just see every artist, every table, even if I didn't know the artist who it was. I just go over and say hi and talk, and and if you have a couple of bucks, maybe they have like maybe a little commission piece for like $50 or something, just to help them out a little, if they're spending time to talk to you and taking away time from their commission work, it's nice to, give them something a little,
Sure.
Even kindness, or if you could afford to get a little piece from them or a print or whatever, it's great. You build, like I said, I've met some great artists over the years, and then some of them I still talk to, just because you just went over and talked to them.
And then Art says I should have asked Stan to sign all of my original.
Your artwork is probably
sign everybody else's.
Your artwork is probably the only one he hasn't signed yet.
I'm gonna. I was. I got a couple photos with him during that. I don't think I've ever shown anybody those. I'll have to dig those out and maybe show them on my calf update, because they're funny. I had like a dark skin jacket on. I wanted to try to stand out as much as Stan did. It didn't work.
You can't beat the mustache, though.
But like Jeff just said, he's agreeing with you. Water and snacks are always appreciated.
Yeah, really, it's a kindness. Like I said, sometimes just can't get away.
Yeah,
it's little things mean a lot to people. But that's cool.
Oh yeah, without question.
And also another etiquette. Please, if you're going to a convention, bathe. I know that those conventions are long. Please take a shower before you go.
How dare you say that?
Well, we've all been there next to that person, especially the cosplayers that have the big costumes on, not to point anybody out, but it's just, you don't want to be the one to clear out the room, put it that way.
That's true.
And again, beautiful splash page. Michael Baer, the inks, Stefan Zadowski. This is the big trio of Teth Adam before he became Black Adam, Nabu the Wise, and Prince Kafu, who became Hawkman eventually. This is just before he became Hawkman. This was the story where Flash was fighting the Injustice Society, and he used Black Adam's speed in the present, and he sort of overshot and went back to the time before Black Adam became Black Adam. This is before he turned evil. As you can see, him at the big 3 there. And beautiful inking and just art. I mean, gorgeous detail. You could see Black Adam, Teth Adam then just floating because he was a guy. Why should he walk? That was always his big thing. Nabu the Wise. And like I said, Hawkman before he became Hawkman. Gorgeous detail. I mean, the inking is stunning on this. It really is. But and even look at the horse in the background. Gorgeous detail on the horse. I was always a fan of Justice Society, no matter how many times. I'm hoping they put out another book eventually with the. Whoa, what was that again?
You got a ghost in your.
Yeah, we have a ghost all over the place. But
as long as nothing gets damaged.
It's again, gorgeous piece. I love the splash, dramatic splash. Always gets me all the time. And again, you may also might remember this. Steve Morgan had this in Michael Baer's cap, but it was never for sale, a big wow. And every time I'd go and buy pages, I would see this page, but it said not for sale. Again, Michael Baer did the inks on it. The yin and yang of the Power Shazam, Black Adam, Captain Marvel, eternal battle against each other, and the members of the JSA, heads floating. It was for the cover of Fair Play. And as you can see, just gorgeous. Just the detail on their faces as they fight each other, but became mutual friends to a point. you know, and it said it's a cover. So I was very happy that it came up for an auction on Comic Connect a couple years back, and I was lucky enough to get it. A little pricey, but it was worth it. I always wanted this one. I was very happy to get it. So yeah, 16 heads are better than one.
Yeah. Hey, Stanley wants to know what are your Grail pieces in your collection, or do you have any? Have you picked up your Grail?
I would say probably the All-Star Squadron is my Grail piece. Yeah, if you consider a Grail piece. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to pick pieces, but that's the one that always stands out because I never thought I'd ever own it. And I was very lucky to just get it out of the blue one night because I signed up for an email update, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So that's probably the one page. But I do have a couple of, again, with this JSA run, one of the best things they ever did was they'd have dramatic splash pages almost every issue. And I was very lucky to get a lot of them. So, you know, you could pick one of those out if you want. But yeah. And then the cover to the Avengers 269, because it was my first piece I ever bought. And again, I loved Kang the Conqueror and he was battling Mortis. So, you know, it has a little glue damage, but I'm sending it away to get it cleaned up, of course, because we're curators of the artwork. So it's our job to make sure it gets cleaned up. So
very
it's going to be sent out very soon. And it'll be cleaned up. It's just strange because all the pieces I have over, I guess, 250 pieces. I've always had them stacked neatly, you know, and that was the only one I ever had a problem with. I just don't know where the glue came from. It was always the one on top, and I just don't know how the glue got there. But it's going to get cleaned up, and it'll be rescanned, and hopefully soon.
Have you already picked a restorer to do the work?
Yes, actually.
Somebody local or one of the bigger names that everybody knows?
Somebody you talked to already.
All right.
Yeah, I don't want to mention names right now, but I actually met this person in a New York Comic Big Apple Con.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw his work firsthand, and I mean, it's just stunning the amount of work he does. So again,
we had an issue with something that got shipped once, not Dueling Dealers, and the recipient wanted to keep the art. And so they found somebody local, you know, they could do the, you know, take the bend out of it. It wasn't like it wasn't folded over, but it had gotten a crease in it, and they did a good job. So I was just curious because I think that's, you know, kind of eye opening to know that, you know, we think of restorers and for comic art, and, you know, we think there's like, you know, 3 or 4 names out there, but realistically, there's a lot of people who could do restoration work like that. It's not just those who specialize.
The only reason I choose him is because I had his card back then, so I always kept his card. And I said one day I'll contact him. So,
and hey, I should tell you, I'm emailing with Morgan too. I might have him on the show sometime before Lake Como. I've always tried to get him, and he just never had time. But so we were going to talk a little bit about Como, so a little bit about the Big Wow Days, that show, and maybe get to show off some pieces from his collection too, because, you know, he's got
great, and he's a couple of JSA covers. I saw him on the last the what do you call it, the convention, your convention ad, and they were a little out of my price range at the time, but yeah, it was just nice to see.
Yes, he's a good guy.
He really is. Like I said, I did a lot of business with him in the past, and also Mark Hay too. Splash page, big reason I have my JSA pages too. I used to get pages from him all the time, and they always have those sales at the end of the year where you could get discounts on it. So I'd get Don Kramer's artwork from, you know.
That's true. Yeah, Mark does rep a lot of DC Vertigo guys. So yeah, that's he doesn't rep enough Marvel guys. I've been close friends with Mark for a very long time. He was the first dealer that I worked with on their website, so he's been a friend for many years, and I've always told him that. I'm like, you rep too many DC guys.
Somebody's got to do it. I mean, really.
Yes, exactly. But no, he enjoys it. I don't give him too much grief.
And of course, if you've known Dueling Dealers,
I was going to say this is another Dueling Dealers pickup.
Again, I cannot highly recommend it enough to visit Dueling Dealers Wednesday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You have Anthony Snyder and you have Mike Barrucci. And I don't know how you do it sometimes, Bill. I mean, really trying to rein those two in when they get going, it's just you deserve a big paycheck for that, really.
Yeah. I could only keep him to a half hour for artwork during the recap, right?
But
Mike doesn't listen to me at all.
I know, and he's like I said, you can't help but love both of the guys. They do their job great, and they help a lot of people, so that's always cool. But this piece is very strange because, again, I'm a weirdo. I love this character, and I've always wanted to find artwork, and I can never find anything about this page. It was Marvel Chiller's #2, and I literally spent 10, 15 years trying to find anything, and I could not find anything. And so one day I had an update from Anthony on an email, and he had a couple pages from the issue for 2 and 3 and like 6 and 7 or something like that for sale. And I said, okay, wow, this is cool. I finally found it. And I bought the 2 pages off him right away. And then I heard the update. He'd do an update on his YouTube channel about his dueling dealers. And he said he had a Marvel piece. I was saying, I was wondering what the chances were, because I know there was a splash page in that issue.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I figured he had 4 pages. I said, maybe let me just tune in just for the hell of it, see if he actually had the splash page. And there it was. Really. I was very excited, And like I said, he knocked down the price a little. I made an offer and he accepted it. And I went over, picked it up, and I loved the piece. Just, Sonny Trinidad did the artwork on this, and just fantastic. Much more I could say. I was very happy to get it. I was very happy to have it in my art gallery. But like I said, Anthony was great to work with.
Yeah, Marcus says he likes his dress shoes.
Yeah, it's very strange. Like I said, I was kind of hoping he would show up in the Wanda series.
Sure.
Because he's a big part of it. He actually was the one that helped turn her evil on a dark path. So, but who knows? Maybe it would show up in the new Doctor Strange movie. But like I said, I always had a soft spot for him, Wardrobe the Mystic. But
it's a great piece.
And like I said, those are hard to find. Something from the 70s like that, or you're paying an arm and a leg. And like I said, it's very affordable on the dueling dealers. So like I said, and he does time payments. It was very sweetheart about it. So very happy I got it.
Goo was asking when's the next 500 and under show. We actually have a amateur show on the 18th of April between Nick Barrucci and Jordan Joannou, and it's a $500 and under show. Both guys will be bringing 24 pieces of art, so that's going to be a good one.
That's going to be fantastic. Jordan, he has some great pieces, and he's very knowledgeable, and he gives beautiful descriptions. I mean, can't ask for more. And Nick's a sweetheart. Like I said, he does his bit on his show to help push art at very affordable prices. Tune in Friday nights, 7 p.m. for an hour. We have a great time. It's the same bunch of people.
I'm looking forward to that show because we've
really
he's never been on one of the dueling dealer shows, but he's I've had Nick on.
I'm very much looking forward. This should really be fun. It really.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a blast for sure. Yeah. But as far as those guys, I don't know. We should probably do them. We haven't done a $500 and under show between Anthony and Mike in a long time. That's true. I don't know why. Just I don't know. Slips their mind. They usually have.
Well, like I said, you understand. Like I said, some people can't afford the big piece prices, But again,
no, we should do it.
Yeah, it's nice to have a break every once in a while, just for 500 and under. That's in range of most people.
No, I agree. I think it, but we had an issue in the second one, which is kind of why we probably haven't done it since then. I just pushed it out of my mind. I will never talk about it either. But after the show was over, it was kind of like I had a bad taste in my mouth after that second one. Even though it went really well, the first one we did was a sellout, and I think the second one was pretty close to a sellout. But I'll have to talk to the guys about that. We should do another one because. Mike's got a ton of art that he doesn't bring out at all because he's always going for the higher stuff. So we'll work that out. We'll work that out.
And you also have art drops too. As being a member, you get first shot at some of the art drops. Like Mike will do an art drop, or you have Felix, and sometimes you'll announce what art he's coming up with, and these are perks of being members. Even just being a member of this channel. Comic Art Live, you get perks out of it.
I'd like to think so.
I mean, you do actually, you really do, because
Oh well, I have. I usually have. I've got stuff to open on Thursday already. I got a couple packages in the mail.
yeah, I
So
said I never would have known about Felix until I went on this channel, and I've been on. And I love watching his art drops. They're fun, you know.
oh yeah,
But
no, we've talked about doing an art drop kind of thing. We haven't done a bin dive in a while, and there's a few other things that we've been talking about messing around with that just to mix things up. To not always have, because we put a lot of work. Like Maureen and the kids have been working on tomorrow's show because Anthony shot a whole bunch of special memes for tomorrow. He's doing a dress up thing with Sharon again, and
yeah,
so we always it takes time.
it really does.
Goes
Like I
together.
said,
Yeah, I'm paying them too, so they're not working. It's not child labor. Everybody.
even those cakes Sharon makes, like I said, I used to do novelty cakes back in the '90s. Those take time to do, and she just puts them
Oh,
out.
I know. I can't believe she's.
I can't believe how she does them. It's so amazing.
Those potatoes were pretty awesome.
That was I honestly thought they were potatoes. I really, like most people, I thought they were potatoes, and it was a beautiful job. I don't know how edible they were, but they really looked good.
Yeah, he spit that one out. I don't know how tasty they were. Marcus says he won't have. He's got no more hair to remove.
We're all getting to that point, though.
Oh man, yeah, I've got some stuff to talk about in the calf update. I actually did start a TikTok, and just to see what would happen, and I put a couple of those out there. That one from Anthony's Austin Powers bit with getting the pasty torn off.
Yeah.
It went viral.
It really, oh my God. Just sitting here feeling that. Like I saw those updates. You had them posted on the YouTube channel too, because I was watching.
I did. I posted over there, and it didn't get any likes or views. Over on TikTok, it
really?
got it almost got 7,000 views in the first day.
Oh.
So I showed it to him the next day. I'm like, look how popular you are on TikTok.
Well, I guess they're starting to circulate now on the YouTube more. So, like TikTok's the big thing now, I guess. I don't do TikTok.
Right. No, I mean, I actually find I'm going to keep doing it for fun just because I'm curious to see what stuff kind of works its way to the top and just out of curiosity. But
I'll keep posting.
On YouTube they call them shorts, and so I thought that was a great way to kind of put the memes out there, was using the shorts. So I'm going to start doing. You've seen it. I've been doing about 2 a day, putting them out, just because these are things sometimes we don't replay, and so I thought getting them out there in one way or another is good. And shorts are kind of like YouTube's version of what TikTok is. So because over there. Which one went viral over there? The one where Mike said he had a date with Catwoman, and then but that one got like 7,000 views in a day as well. Whereas I'll post some other ones. Heck, my Bill Yagi leg split, my Van Damme leg split. I can't even get 100 views on that thing. That went viral, and it didn't. Nothing happened on TikTok or on YouTube. I don't get it. The algorithm isn't working right.
But they're funny. I mean, where else can you see Mike riding an ostrich? I mean, really, or a porpoise?
That's right. Marcus says high schools are reporting I hope we didn't start something.
Marcus is always there with the quips.
Oh boy, but yeah, I'll highlight that for everybody on Thursday, because I've been doing it for a couple of weeks now just to see what would happen.
I've actually noticed on YouTube they've been showing up a lot on my feed. They're funny to watch, though. I love them.
No, I agree. Yeah, I agree. And I think we've probably, I haven't checked, but I know I've got well over 300 memes. And even the intros are fun too. I want to do something with the intros at some point, because you figure every one of those has been unique, and I did them for a different reason. And so at some point, I'm going to try to get all those out there as well.
Yeah, and like I said, and props to your family for helping. I mean, they do a great job. Yeoman's work every day, making sure the shows run great every week. A lot of work. I mean, much respect to your whole family for doing that. Really.
No, it's been great for me too to get to work with the kids and everything. So for me, I've loved every minute of it. But here, I'll even put the TikTok link in the chat so people can see.
Yeah, go watch them. They are funny. If you haven't seen them, watch them.
Yeah, that's in the chat. But you'll see, it's like what gets popular, right? I mean, I would have thought well, you'll see. You can just see, because it gives a view count when you go on that page, so you can kind of check it out. But it's interesting. And some of them don't get viewed at all. So I don't get, I have no understanding of how TikTok works at all.
Yeah,
But
I'm like I said, I don't even have Facebook, so it's thank God my niece Laura posted this on Facebook, and my nephew Chris and the people up at Paradox Comics, Mike, he posted this link for the show. So
mhm.
that's how we got some extra likes in the beginning. So
Oh, no, that's good. Hey, the more
uh,
likes, the better.
yeah, like I said, everybody's been great helping me out. Like I said, I don't do Facebook, TikTok, and all that. But I'm a
Everybody
dinosaur. What can I say?
All right, let's see. We got two more pieces of art to look at. Let's get the second to last one up here.
Well, this beautiful Phil Jimenez Wonder Woman. I mean, that man knows how to draw a woman beautifully. As you can see, she's just battle scarred. She just fought the cheetah. You can see the claw marks on her face. And this is actually 3-piece. I have 2 more pieces. One's an overlay with just the lettering over it, but also there's also around the Wonder Woman's head is all Amazon. She's summoning the strength of all the Amazon sisters to help fight. You'll see if you go to my gallery, you'll see all 3 pieces there. But I mean, just gorgeous. If she's that beaten up and roughed up and looking that beautiful, I mean, really, just like I said, he knows how to. And some people, I don't know, made again. I don't want to sound like it to disrespect him that he's a George Perez knockoff, but if I'm called a George Perez knockoff, I'd be more than happy. But he's got his own style. It is similar, but he has his own style to things, and he does gorgeous work. And really, I love his work.
Nope, I agree. I've liked Phil's work from the first time I saw it.
Yeah, and this is one of the more beautiful renditions of Wonder Woman to me. Again, not a big Wonder Woman fan, but I saw this one, I had to have it.
Michael McIsaac says he'd put Phil in the top 5.
Definitely, yeah. Michael. Yes, I agree 100%. He did a beautiful Wonder Woman run. And again, hair matching yours, Bill.
Not anymore. Now that I've cut it off.
Oh, close to it.
I've got a Prince Valiant cut going right now. I've got to grow it out, I think.
That's a good show now. Prince Valiant, you could do a meme for that.
I actually could. I started thinking I need to get a wig to do Thor now, and my hair's not long enough. But I'm not gonna do it. Oh man. All right. Last artwork to look at this evening.
Again, a beautiful dramatic splash page. This is the Outsider title at the time. I actually won this. This was a strange story because when I was on Kevin Nolan's board at the time, he had a board, and he was doing the inks for this. And I was in the chats, and he had his own regular site about posting artwork, that. And I saw this one for sale, so I emailed him. I said, I'm really interested in this piece, and I wanted to buy it. And I said, just get back to me. And it was like a week later, and he still didn't answer me. And then I was on eBay one night, and I saw this piece up on eBay. I said, "You've got to be kidding!" I said, I emailed him right away. I said, I emailed you over a week ago, And he goes, "Oh, Brian, I'm so sorry. I didn't see the email." So he immediately took it down from eBay, and he gave it to me at the price we agreed on. But again, dramatic splash, Huntress, very 3D effect to it. She's coming through the window. Thigh gap, if you like the thigh gap, people.
And where's Fish?
Yeah, where's Fish? But I mean, gorgeous piece. My friend Nicole, she loved this piece. She was so mad that I wouldn't sell it to her, but I just couldn't at the time. But it's gorgeous. Like I said, stunning action shot. I'm more than happy to have it in my gallery.
Like broken glass in that one.
Yeah, really, like I said, a very 3D effect to it. It would have been really cool.
And Duranic and Conrad, right?
Yeah, yep.
Nice, really nice.
Yeah, Kevin Conrad. Again, I met him a couple of times. Talked to him. Good person. He said met many people through eBay. He was great.
Oh, I got a criticism for you.
What?
On this piece in your calf, you have Kevin's last name spelled wrong.
Uh-oh. See?
Because I clicked it, I was like, I'm going to see how many pieces of art of Kevin's are on CAF, and I clicked it and it said 2, and I'm like, is my search not working? And you have it CONARD instead of R.
I'll fix it
Yeah.
right away.
Gotta fix that.
Thank you.
I
It's
trust me.
been a
Whenever
while
I'm
since I
looking
posted this one, so
that's all right. Hey, if we could come up with a way to find misspellings on CAF,
yeah, that would be
have it
appreciated. But like
spelled
I
wrong on CAF. I mean, I'm sure there's many. There's probably a lot of great artwork on there that nobody can find because you don't know how to.
yeah, a misspelled word, or like even I remember Ruben suggested changing the title from one of my galleries because somebody wouldn't find it. I just had the name of the person, whatever, and he said just, which was fine. I'm very happy. I love, again, people email me through the gallery all the time, just saying they're like your gallery pieces. If you're interested in selling them, can you please, get back to me? And I'm always, I said, most people don't like getting emails like that, but I'm more than fine if you see a piece. Most of my pieces aren't for sale, but again, nothing's ever permanent. And if those pieces do come for sale, I have a list of people that have asked in the past, and I will email them if they are still active on the Comic Art Fan website, and I'll try to work out a deal first before I post it up, because I see that they are interested in those pieces, and they have.
We always you'd like to have your art go to somebody who.
Yeah, really, I would. That's why I check their galleries out just to make sure,
Yeah, word to the wise, everybody. It's all when you're communicating with other CAF members. It's always good to have your own CAF gallery out there.
Yeah,
the most asked questions that I get from people are, who is this guy? They don't have a CAF gallery, and they're emailing me about something.
But they've been inactive for years. Like I said, I've watched some pieces that I would like to get pieces from, but they've been active for 10 years, and who knows what's happened.
Right. I know. I always talked about putting that last login in the green box so that people would know if somebody's active or not. I mean, that's how you would have known Michael Bear is active.
Yeah.
But I don't show that. I was able to see that because I was trying to figure out what his email was so I could see if I could find it in my mail. But I really got to add that on there. I don't think that's
or something to the extent of it. It would help, or at least like
or
I
even
said,
reverse engineer it and at least say last logged in a week ago. So you don't.
That would.
They were there. In the last week and the last month.
I usually just check when they last posted a piece. Like I said,
I know I look at that too, but with Bear again, he hadn't posted anything since 14.
Yeah.
So you'd think that he's.
But I'd love to see if he was active now. What he's doing as far, even if it's outside of comics, it's, along with some other artists, it'd be great.
Sure. Well, I've got to make a note of that. But that's something I should just have Maureen do tomorrow. I always wanted to have that on there because I need it. Because the only way I can find out is I have to go into my admin and I can search on people, and that shows me their last logged in time too.
Yeah, but it's cool.
Agreed.
And yeah.
Well, listen, hey, this has been an awesome chat, and it's great to finally meet you, Brian. I mean, I've been waiting for this day. I mean, you've been such a great participant in the chat. I mean, right alongside Nick, cheering everybody on, welcoming them, and making people feel welcome in our chat. I mean,
that's what we do.
I do.
Well, you're busy, and this is, like I said, it's just not me and Nick. Everybody chimes in. Everybody helps. I see Ruben and some other people. Just we want to make people welcome. That's a big thing. Whatever you collect, just come on in, join a party. It's great. We're all fans at the end. That's what we want to see. Good artwork. Whatever you got, bring it. We're happy.
That is true. But I know I'll see it probably tomorrow night.
Yes, I will be there tomorrow. Before I leave, let me just say a very big thank you to my friends Donna and Michelle, who've been my friends for over 53 years now. We grew up together, and they've always been there for me, and they've always cheered me on. Even when I announced this to them, they were the first ones there to cheer me on. So I'm very, if you have friends in your life like them, you are blessed, and I'm very blessed to have both in my life. So
friends are,
it really is.
Yeah, no, it's of course I have lots of friends, but the thing that I've around here, like other than Berkey, who's he's a friend, he's family basically.
Yes,
now, I guess. But I lament the fact that I've kind of lived transient enough that I don't have good friends like that. I mean, I have great friends now. I mean, just but nobody that's close. Nobody I can be like, hey, let's go out for a drink on Friday night.
I was
I
actually
don't
lucky.
have friends like that, and I haven't had friends like that in 20 years. And
I was actually lucky because they lived down the street right from me.
sure.
The twin sisters, and we did everything together. We grew up together. They were like a second family. The mother Irma was like a mother to me. They were the first ones to bring me over to New York, and then introduced me to Broadway shows. We used to go to Broadway shows together. And then I sprung out on my own. I would go to the opera and the museums by myself. But we always stuck together no matter what. No matter how many years have passed, phone call away. If you needed one another, we were right there. And then, like I said, you can't ask for anything more from a friend. If you have friends like that, you're very lucky in your life. And to answer somebody's question, they asked how old I am. I'm 56.
56.
Yeah. Somebody asked in the chat.
Not old.
No, get in there. Oh, and also, I just want to also say, this is another special occasion that we had this show this week. This is 34 years now that I've worked in my job this week. 34 years ago, I first started my job.
Always night shift, though?
Yeah, always night shift. So it's like 60 years for a normal person.
Right.
It really is.
Well,
it ages you fast.
Retirement or anything, but
well, I can retire. I'm just going to go a few more years. But
I mean, like doubling up for your anyway.
It really is. It was great when you're 20s and 30s and 40s. In the 40s, it got a little tiring, but when you're 50s, you value your sleep much better. Nights.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I do take naps every now and again during the day.
Naps are a blessing at this age, no matter where it is. But I'd just like to thank you, Bill. Again, you do a yeoman's job every week putting these together, introducing newer people, fans to the older comic artists, collectors, putting a network together, a family together, an umbrella together, that we could all enjoy these pieces, even helping out the artists who may not know about internet and getting their pieces out so they could sell them and maybe help them out. That's always a blessing that you're going to get back 100%. So again, this is just a great job by you and your family, and great job by the people in the chat. You know who you are. I'd love to read all your names out, but everybody's fantastic. So just stop in. And even if you stopped in tonight, stop in tomorrow, 9 p.m. Just see what it is like for a Dueling Dealer show. You have a great time. You can sign up. You can join the chat. It's fantastic. The chats take a life of their own sometimes, aside from the show.
It did tonight a little bit too at times.
Yeah. But it's good.
Everybody's loving the chat today. But so yeah, we'll see you tomorrow, and
yes, we'll be there. And updates on Thursday too.
Oh no, I know you'll be there before we get started. So all right, well listen, again, lots of fun chatting with you, Brian.
Thank you, Bill. I appreciate it.
To the name in the chat, Mr. Red Jack is now I know who you are. I look forward to one of these days. I'm sure we'll get a chance to meet. I haven't been to the.
I would love to see that. I'd love to, like you said, one of the best things about being in on Jeff John's board, just for a short second, is one of the New York Comic-Con shows. On the forums, we met and we had a group of about 25 people, and we had dinner after one of the shows. So that was fantastic. So maybe a year or so from now, we could do this now in this group, and maybe get together, East Coast or West Coast, have a group of people, maybe go out to dinner after a show. If everybody's in the area, arrange something. I know you're doing something down in North Carolina. It's similar to that.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good time.
So, but those are cool. Maybe you could do those yearly or whatever. Get together and everybody could just meet each other, see the face behind the name. Something to look forward to, maybe.
True. Well, I know we're going to do a big bash on the 20th CAF anniversary, probably down in Orlando. I mean, since that's where I'll be, but that'll be next February, around February 1st. So 20 years of CAF, and yeah, that'll be interesting. But once we start, I'll start planning that as soon as I get down there. But anyway, again, thanks everybody for tuning in. Brian and I really
thank you, everybody.
This was a lot of fun. I'm glad everybody else got to put a face to the name in the chat who's been cheering us on for so long, and welcoming all the newcomers to the group. We really appreciate it, Brian.
Thank you very much, Bill. I appreciate it. Have a good night, everybody.
Yep. Good night, and we'll see you tomorrow.